I've had my Revo Max now for about a month, and I actually haven't surfed it that much since that first surf that I did a review on. I decided over the weekend that I would surf it in every surf that I went in, and I surfed it in some very small clean waves, medium size and some bigger surf too, and I've found the board to perform really well. Let's take a look at the footage and see what you think. The Revo Max wouldn't be my first choice for waves of this size. I would probably choose the Machado Cardo or the Seaside or maybe the Evo, but you can see that the board is going super fast, and that really surprised me. I've included all these small wave clips just to give you an idea how it works in different conditions. If you're considering it as an all-rounder, it definitely has that ability. Twin fins can be notoriously difficult to surf backhand, but the Revo Max does a good job and you're able to hit the lip. While I have you here guys, if you could subscribe, like and comment and interact with the channel, that would really help us out and we'd really appreciate that. Thanks so much. I find myself really shifting my back foot around. When I'm pumping, my back foot is in front of the tail pad, and when I want to turn, my back foot goes back onto the tail pad. I find that I consciously have to remind myself to do this. This slow-mo clip shows that process. When my front foot is forward, the board has hold. When I put my foot on the tail, it becomes super loose. This session was really fun. The waves are super glassy, but it was quite hard to find a lip to hit. It was more of a kind of cruisy top turn and racing down the line with a few cutbacks. I raced out onto the shoulder on this one just to see how hard I could push the rail, and I lost my timing at the end. Would I choose the Revo Max for this session? I'm not sure. I think I would probably choose the Machado Cardo or the Seaside or maybe the Revo over the Revo Max. I don't know why that is, because on the face of it, it's surfing well, and when I was surfing it, I was really enjoying it. But there's a lot of nose out front, which is quite difficult to get used to. On these backhand waves, I didn't feel confident to really hit the lip. Now I don't know if that was the waves, or if it was the Revo Max, or me, or a combination, but I just didn't feel a lot of confidence on these rights. Or maybe I'm just not accepting that this board is going to ride more cruisy than my other boards. On this next right, I actually avoid hitting the lip and kind of doing it under the lip, which I didn't really like. I had a little bit of a slip there. It's just not flowing. It starts to flow a little bit towards the end of the ride. I'm used to riding 5/6s, so obviously the swing weight on this board is a lot more, and it takes a little bit of getting used to that. You saw with that cutback it was a bit strange. I think what Firewire are labelling the 6.0 and the 6.3 as a kind of step up or mini mid-length, and when the sizes get bigger into the 6.9, that's more of a mid-length. The surf itself and watching the clips back, it looks like fun and fast and smooth surfing. Friends on the beach and my wife said the board looked good, but there's a little niggle there. Maybe it's vanity that I just feel maybe I'm not doing enough. I think this is one of the psychological difficulties if you've been riding short boards all of your surfing life, to just let it go and cruise more. I'd love to know what you think in the comments. This session was super fun, but I think it's the next session in bigger surf that the Revo Max really shined for me, and the conditions I'm more likely to use the board in. This looks like the perfect dismount, but I absolutely got worked on the beach by the next wave. Nikki filmed this from the top, so it makes it look really flat. This first wave, I was really surprised the speed that I got to get past this whitewater and managed to fit a turn in at the end. It was a little bit lumpy and bumpy, but the Revo just felt really smooth, and it did feel a bit like you were on a track. I've heard some others talk about it almost being like a snowboard, and I think that's true. There's a couple of times in all of the sessions that I've tried to approach the lip and found that quite tricky, and maybe I might be able to improve that with some practice. Here's an example right here of me trying to hit the lip and totally mistiming it. This next ride is one of my favourites, just a lovely carve, which I think is what the Revo Max is really good at. And then this one, I just didn't expect to be bucked off there. This last wave, bit of a long section, and this time I kind of hit the lip and make it, but I didn't go too high. The Revo Max is a great addition to my quiver because it'll surf from anything from knee high up to overhead, and it really shines in the overhead conditions. I don't have a board like that in my quiver, and I'm not aware of many boards that have this kind of versatility. Possibly the Hypto Crypto? It's a very unique surfboard, and I haven't owned one like it before. So for me, it's a big thumbs up for the Revo Max. And it's not very often that you can have a surfboard that performs in tiny waves and in big waves. Thanks for watching the video, guys. I hope it's helpful if you were considering buying the Revo Max. Let's take a look at the kit. Let's take a look at the foot. Look at the foot.